Sasquatch, Ghost, Dogman, aliens, demons, shadow people, skinwalkers, even the Fae. Our universe is vast, dark, and wrought with infinite unexplained phenomena. We have tasked ourselves with assisting humanity in finding the keys to unlock the mysteries that abound in and around our world. What we intend to reveal behind the curtain of darkness may very well invoke those fears long tucked away in our memories. We will meet that fear head on as we strive to shine the light of understanding on these phenomena. The goal is to arm you with the power of knowledge to confront and even combat these entities. We welcome you to join us on our quest. We are Midwest Night Watchers.
Hi everyone, welcome.
Welcome everyone.
Well, tonight on Piercing the Veil, we have a text from Texas Front Porch, and I don't know exactly what we're going to talk about. I'm sure we'll get into Dogman, Bigfoot, all kinds of stuff like that, and we'll just have to see what Tex has to say, and we'll go ahead and bring him up and get this thing a-rolling. Hi, Tex.
Hey, dadgum, who was that sexy voice guy doing that intro?
I don't know, but I do want to thank you very much for that intro.
Oh man, you know what? It was a pleasure, and I, you know, the whole getting demonetized thing on my channel and all that kind of stuff, because it happened at it couldn't have happened at the worst time, because we were talking about, because y'all were the next ones we were going to bring on board. You know, and a lot of people don't know that. Y'all were going to be part of, you know, the whole simulcast thing and all that kind of stuff. And I got to say, I feel so damn bad about that. I really do, because I wish I could have helped y'all out more.
Yeah, you know? I mean, I know I talked to you behind the scenes, you know, a lot about coming on board and getting more involved on your platform and stuff. And I mean, that's okay. I mean, it all worked out for the best. I mean, we're doing okay. I mean, we're getting out there, and I mean, we just love all you guys on your platform. I mean, you guys are all still connected, and been on all your guys' shows, you know, right, a little at a time, and
things happen for reasons.
Well, you know, and that's true, and that's the way we looked at what happened, because it kind of forced everybody to be pushed out of the nest, type thing, you know. And it's weird. I'm still getting used to it, because I'm still so used to seeing all the stuff and everything on the channel, and I had to strip the channel down a lot, because I had to get rid of all the shows from their platforms and everything, you know. And it was almost I know this is going to sound weird, but it was very emotional for me, having to go through and delete all that stuff. Like, and I know it still exists over on their channel, but it's just like, I don't know. It was like I was losing something or something. It was weird. And now it's me and Danielle and Brandy, you know, and it's kind of like when you're used to living around family and stuff. And I know this sounds weird and mushy or whatever you want to call it. It's like moving out of town, and you're not as closely in contact now. And I was so disappointed, because, you know, and I had told you, I said, you know, we got to take care of some stuff, and then we're going to bring y'all on board. And it was like, boom, all this stuff happened. I'm like, dang it, you know, because I was really looking forward to it, guys. I was really looking forward to it. But anyway, I know a lot of people didn't know what was going on behind the scenes, and I know we hadn't talked about it, but I'm really sorry it didn't happen. I
You don't have to
not
say sorry,
well,
'cause
I feel bad because I wanted it to happen too,
right.
you know.
Well, it was good for us also because we were multi-streaming with William Nighthawk, and so it
Right.
happened to you, and we told him the same thing that okay, we need to go solo also. We don't want the same thing to happen. And we're
Right.
streaming, solo now. He's still co-host Saturday and Sunday
Right.
on his show, but we're just not multi-streaming anymore. So you actually helped us out also, and we just went ahead and went solo ourselves.
Well, and that's why we were so well, I say that's why. That's one of the reasons that we were like really transparent about what happened. Because, you know, we've we wanted people to see what was what they could and couldn't do, you know, because I mean it's not like we were trying to get anything over on anybody. We were trying to help people,
Right.
because y'all know for a fact that that's what we love to do.
Right.
No, it's not like we're some huge channel or nothing, but we are in the position where we can help get channels started, and it's it was just really, and Brandy says it, it was just really a shock when it happened.
Mm-hmm.
But we wanted to get it out there and make sure that anybody that was doing it could see what happened to us.
Yep.
And kind of learn from it. So we turned it into a positive, just like
Yes.
that. So
Yeah, because it was a positive for us. Like I said, it kind of gave us a forewarning, like, okay, future monetizing ourselves, even if it's William that wants to be monetized, we need to stop multi-streaming. So that's what we did.
Actually, though, I like the format better. I mean, you guys are all still on each other's channels, just like you were, on your shows. You have Branda and Brandy and Jason and them have BMR and all that. You guys are still doing the same format that way, but your chats are consolidated now.
Yeah.
I mean, I like everybody all in one chat now. That's a lot nicer. I don't have to jump between 3 different channels to try to say hi to everybody.
I was going to say, I was kind of getting used to the phone being in one chat and the tablets being in the other, and kind of multi-chatting and hopping back and forth.
And that is a complaint that we got from, some folks, that it was hard to keep up. And behind the scenes, we were actually talking about making this move, but this forced us to do it before we had wanted to.
Yeah.
But it was it was a kick in the pants, I think. And I can't even, the porch, we can't even reapply until mid-September.
Oh wow.
So, yeah, they popped us pretty hard. So
well, I can't tell you how many times I saw in somebody's chat, like, I don't see so-and-so. Am I blocked? No, they're in the other chat.
I would be chatting, and I would see somebody, because when you chat here, it goes all, to all platforms.
Right.
And I would see people going, who is Tex talking to? So yeah, it was confusing, and we didn't realize it was going to be like that when we started doing it. But it was kind of something. Well, we got to roll with it,
Right.
Right.
But but that's all water under the bridge now. We all learned a lesson, and But no, I hadn't got to talk to y'all really in depth since all that happened, and I thought, you know what, dadgummit, ain't no better chance to get this off my chest than right now. So, there it is.
Well,
you helped us out a lot with our intro. I just want to cry every time we have a show, because your voice is amazing, and just how you did our intro is just, thank you so much. That's all I can say. I don't have the words for it. Just thank you so much for the intro. It was amazing, and just the words that you were saying and the tone of your voice, and you did help us out quite a bit.
Well, that was my pleasure. I mean, I love doing what I can, and if I happen to have a voice that people enjoy, why not use it to help others? And nobody better to to do that with is y'all. I was honored that y'all asked me, and it was, I know when we were texting back and forth about it, and I was like, because I feel like when you do something like that for somebody, I guess this is just me. It may just be me, but the first draft or whatever, I would almost feel obligated. Oh, it's fine. Thank you so much. That would be me. And I have to get it across. I wanted to get it across to y'all. Like, look, if this is not what you want, please tell me, because I want it to be perfect and everything. And the other intro that I did for y'all, I didn't quite nail it, and I want to thank y'all so much for being so sweet and so honest about it. And that one was hard to do for some reason. I just couldn't get dialed in on it. I don't know what it was.
Was that the Night Owl Lounge?
Yeah, the Night Owl Lounge. Yeah. I really, it's hard to describe the feeling that, because it's a chat-based show. Right. So we're not going to have guests necessarily on that because it's at midnight and there's not a lot of people, right, at midnight to have on, because everybody has jobs and families,
Yep.
But I just didn't know what the essence of the show was going to be or how to describe it, because it's not really necessarily, the macabre or the eerie feeling or, right, the mysterious. So I didn't really know what to tell you for a song or for images or any. I mean, I didn't know what to tell you even. It's my show or our show.
But the intro of this show is amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Well, thank you. I'm glad y'all like it. If there's anything, if there's ever anything I can do for you, you just reach out. Y'all have become like an extended family. So it's because people don't realize how much, we talk, because we text back and forth a lot. I mean, well, I say a lot, quite a bit. I mean,
yeah.
I put it this way: I talk to y'all more than I talk to my brother and sister. So,
I think that happens a lot in people's families.
Yeah, it does. It does. But yeah, it's a good feeling, I think that's part of it, and that's really what I like about what y'all do, because y'all have the same goal that we do as far as being positive, staying out of the drama, and all that kind of stuff. And that's why I felt, that y'all would be, a good addition, to be on the porch and all that kind of stuff when we were all talking about it. And I was like, oh yeah, these, yeah, y'all are a puzzle piece. You just click right there, But and speaking of being on the porch,
yep,
it's y'all's turn tomorrow.
Yeah,
back-to-back shows.
Yep.
Yeah, and I've absolutely loved seeing y'all on the other shows, and that, and I got jealous. I had to have y'all come over on mine.
Well, we keep talking about it, and it just never seemed to work out. It's just like, I work second shift, and you have a job that you do, yep. And I mean, it's hard. I mean, right now I've been on. Right, we've scheduled so many shows that I'm out of vacation time. So,
oh, ouch.
Well, until a couple of weeks, because then they always hold they hold a week or so for Christmas, but then they always cancel the shutdown at Christmas and make us work anyway. So I'll have those days to play with. But
I keep telling them, stop taking days off for being on shows.
I don't know. That's just what I want to do.
Well, it's tough, and I know exactly what you mean, because I work every Friday night and every other Saturday night, and it's I work every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and every other Saturday, well, Sunday is the only day I have, with my wife and everything. So, and when I have a Saturday off, it's kind of, she gets first, she gets dibs on it. and it's just really hard to do what I do a lot of shows on the weekends and stuff. But we got it. We made it happen, brother.
Yeah. Yeah. Not only that, we're going to have back to back double feature.
Yeah.
Yep. Double whammy. And I tell you what, we trying to get on a subject that everybody wants to hear about, and I know y'all are tired of hearing me yap, but that show that y'all did, I'm still blown away with that thing just appearing out of the wall.
Yeah.
That just I tried my best to debunk that. I really, really did. And I could not. I slowed it down, looked at it, and I don't know what it was. It was like a wisp or something. I don't know, but it was.
And it kept happening for a couple weeks, and then it just finally stopped. Now we're in a different room, so if it's going to happen, hopefully it'll show up again.
Yeah, we told us welcome over here behind us in this room now to see if it'll move over.
Yeah, because I know we
might have to stream from that other room once in a while to see if it still happens.
There you go. Because I know we were all talking about what it could be, where it could have came from, and everything, and it's because we talked about the picture possibly being, part of the source or
right.
What, but y'all have got so much because. Jane, you're really into the crystals.
Mm-hmm.
And I did not realize, and because I've never been one to get into that. And so I really didn't understand what the whole thing was. I knew they had different kinds of energy, but that's about as far as it went. And Brandy is really into the crystals.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to have a conversation with her. I said, you've got to educate me because I am totally ignorant on this. Like what's the deal here? And after a conversation with her, I'm like, well, hell, no wonder she's got things going on. Y'all have got things going on because you've got all this energy that is, and it's not bad. It's good energy, and I'm wondering if that's, I think you have to wonder if that's what at least part of it is.
Well, I'll give you an example. When I was starting to collect crystals about 5 years ago, at first he was kind of going, oh, yeah, they're pretty. But then I don't know if he got a download or a message from God above or what, but it dawned on him that the breastplate of righteousness that the high priest has to wear to go into the Holy of Holies is 12 different stones. And each stone represents each tribe of Israel. Now, God told them which stone and which row to put on this breastplate. They still have to wrap a rope around him with bells because in case he's not a good high priest, he gets killed in front of the covenant, the Holy of Holies, they can still pull him out. But there's something about stones and energy and probably the placement that God told them to put on that breastplate of righteousness. And he has to wear that with his, garments and everything when they actually go in and they're in front of the Ark of the Covenant. So there's something about stones.
Yeah. And see, I had no clue about any of that. I really didn't. And I was like, wow, because honestly, it's been a few years ago, but when I first started, really talking to people that were into the crystals and stones and all this kind of stuff, I'm like, I don't know. This kind of sounds like hoodoo kind of stuff, and but it's just the opposite.
Right.
And I had no clue that it was, but it makes perfect sense because I think it was y'all that I heard say this. If God was using this,
mm-hmm.
That's it makes sense for us to use them, because I think a lot of what it's the whole problem I have along with and I don't know really how to put it. The very religious zealots, I guess you could say, on the Christian side. Now I'm a God-fearing man. And my faith is what protects me when I go out in the field with these critters or whatever else is out there. And it's when somebody has a gift of sight, okay, they want to talk about it being work of the the devil, their adversary, or whatever, the psychics and the mediums and all that kind of stuff. Even remote viewing to a point. And I'm like, no, wait a minute, let's pump the brakes here, because y'all can talk about God bestowing the gifts of knowledge and discernment on you. But if these people have it, it's bad. Why?
Right.
That makes zero sense. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. And honestly, I think I think ego comes into play.
Well, see, we ran across that when we were going to church. Both of us have been in church life our whole lives growing up and even into adulthood. And we ran into that in the church. If you mention anything about the supernatural or whatever, you kind of got that kind of sideways eye look, but I mean, if you're reading the Bible and you really, really are a Christian, you start to notice all the supernatural stuff that's in the Bible accounts, I mean, there's no two ways about it. I mean, it's supernatural. So why wouldn't all this other stuff be available? I mean, they have demons and witches, the witch of Endor in the Bible. I mean, so why can't there be in our natural life, witches and demons and cryptids and UFOs? I mean, it's all connected.
Well, if the stone is considered a tool and they have different energies and powers, well, both sides, dark and light, are gonna figure it out and use those tools. So you can use them for the bad or good, probably. That's how I see it.
Exactly. I think anything, counting the Bible, can be perverted to use as I mean, look at and of course on the Infamous Minds we talk about this. It's your cult leaders, your Satanist and all that kind of stuff. They will I'm not going to say not so much Satanists, but and I'm not defending them, okay? Don't get me wrong, guys. But these cult leaders that in as far as I'm concerned, hide behind the Bible and pervert it and twist it to say exactly what they want to, until they get actually a God complex themselves.
Sad to say, it don't have to be cult leaders. It's pastors also.
Well, exactly. Yeah. Which, and I think a lot of
not all. I hate to say it.
No, not all.
There is good ones out there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But there's people out there that get that little taste of power, and it goes to their head. That ego gets switched on, and they get that God complex going. David Koresh called himself the Messiah, the new Messiah. And I think that's a lot of people talk about different, getting the adversary getting its claws into you and using it for, and I think that's what happens. I really do. And unfortunately, it happened. I think it happens without these people that are probably in their heart Christians, but it happens without them knowing it. And it happens so gradually that they become something that they preach against and they don't even know it.
Well, they don't even realize, if they're against stones, because I had some Christian friends kind of turn away or look at me like, oh, you're getting in the new age and this and that. I'm going, no, they're rocks, they're stones, they're pretty. God created them. But don't these people realize that they have tiger eye and amethyst in their earrings, their necklaces, their rings?
Yep.
They're wearing those stones, and they've already was drawn to those certain stones when they bought that ring or those necklaces.
Yep.
But if you have a regular rock in your hand, I guess it's wrong.
I guess it, when it comes down to it, and y'all don't have to. I apologize if this comes across wrong, but I guess it to me it comes down to what you put the most faith in, because the it's like you said, the stones and the crystals are a tool.
Yeah.
And I think some people go a little bit overboard and they lose sight of God and they put all their faith in the crystals.
Exactly.
And I think that's where people need to go, okay, wait a minute, back off. I need to remember who gave me these.
Right.
And the knowledge to use them, and then go back to him. Because I have seen, not a lot, but I have met some people that when you have like a conversation that we're having, it's all about the stones. It's all about this. It's all about the energy and all this kind of stuff. And God's on the back burner.
Right.
And it should be the other way around. But I think, like we were talking about, it happens so gradually that, and people need to quit being so dadgum judgmental.
I agree.
There's a lot of that going around. And that's really weird, whether it's politics, religion, families now are divided. If you don't have the same views or agree exactly 100% with the other person, then all of a sudden everybody, they're against you, or everybody else is against you, and we never used to be that way. We could have a conversation about anything, and I might not agree with everything you say, and you might not agree with everything I say, but that doesn't mean we can't be civil to each other and have a conversation about it. Exactly. I don't know how we lost all that.
I don't either. And, and that's something, and that's another thing that, and I'm going to say we, because everybody on the porch, and I keep saying on the porch because in my mind, we're still all one big happy. We jokingly call ourselves the Island of Misfit Toys, but we were all, attracted, drawn to y'all because y'all had that same view that we did. Because I got news for you folks, not everybody on the porch that have the same beliefs. Jessica's in the chat. When she was and I still consider her part of the family, I really do. But when she was on our channel, I didn't have the same beliefs she does in, the whole Bigfoot phenomenon and all this kind of stuff. But it didn't matter because we could sit down and have a conversation. And that's the difference. Barry Littleton is another one. He will sit down and have a conversation about something. And that's what I loved about, that's what I love. I said love about Jessica and Brandy. And I can't put Randy in that. I can't put Randy. Randy's a whole different one.
He wears a tinfoil hat,
I love Randy and Bob and Jason and Rob and Krista, everybody, and Danielle. There's things that she works with that I don't agree with. But she's like a little sister to me.
Right.
And it's the same with Jessica. And but if you take time and sit down and just be kind of open-minded enough, or just get the judgmental stuff out of the way and make the effort to have a conversation, you might just learn something that you don't know.
Well, we've got a nice saying that it came from a pastor many, many years ago. And we stopped going to church like 12, 13 years ago. But well, anyway, this came from a sermon, and I go by this saying: life is like a buffet line. Eat off your own plate. So it doesn't matter what you have on your plate. You have somebody next the table over looking, just giving you dirty looks like, ew, what are you eating? How dare you eat that? I've got good stuff. Here, try my stuff. No,
Right.
everyone needs to eat off their own plate and just stop the judging and the infighting and oh, you're still friends with so and so. Well, I don't want to be your friend anymore either. I mean, just the bickering is just, I don't like drama. We run from it. I don't like
Right.
any of this. If something is going on, talk about it behind the scenes, not on shows. Just to, text each other and this and that, the name calling,
Yeah.
all that. I mean, I've seen it for years. I've been on YouTube for a long time. I saw the UFO community, people that I don't even watch anymore, actually, they were fighting like you wouldn't believe, name calling, telling their names, blah, blah, blah. It was getting nasty. And I went, okay, I have just unsubscribed to a bunch of people. I don't like
Yeah.
drama.
I don't either. And, my, I know there's a few channels out there, and I'm not going to say any names, but there's a few channels that almost thrive on it. And if that's what you have to do to get an audience, you're not doing what people really want. And I think a lot of your listeners are going to be fair weather, and it's like y'all and us and Jessica and the girls and Rob and Jason and all of us. And if you stay true to yourself and you don't go down to the high school level or junior high level with this kind of stuff, you're going to attract a stronger audience, because the people that we have in our chat, man, they're great. They're absolutely awesome. And don't get me wrong, I have how can I say this? I have had more than a few people get bent out of shape about something I said.
Uh-oh, you?
But
No. You don't do things wrong,
um,
Tex.
but I'm not going to let anybody attack a friend of mine or attack a group or anything like that. I'm going to stand up for them, and because I went through, when I first started the YouTube, a lot of people don't know this. I was with a channel, and I'm not talking about BDRP. This was before that. I was involved with the channel, and they got involved with another channel. They considered each other sisters and blah 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 and all this kind of stuff. And then they got sideways, and I was friendly with both of them, and they tried to put me in the middle of it. And I sent an email to both of them, addressed to both of them, and same email. And I said, look, I'm not going to do this. Don't call me complaining about her. You don't call me complaining about her, because I'm not going to take sides in this. Y'all work it out. I'm not going to be the referee for you, because y'all are grown ups. You can do this. They didn't.
It sounds like church ladies.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah, we've dealt with that too. It's like, oh, you're still friends with them. Well, I'm not going to be your friend anymore. You're hanging out with them. Well, I've lost so many friends in my life that I just went, then you're not my real friend. A loyal friend will stick with you no matter what. If they hear something bad about you, if they believe that, well, then I guess they weren't your friend. They need to stick with you loyally no matter what and stick with you. That's a true friend.
Right. And I've been on both sides of that coin. Honestly, I'll admit it, and it's tough to lose friends when it's your own fault.
It really, really is. And I think everybody makes mistakes, and everybody deserves a second chance.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you get into the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 10th, 12th,
Yep. That's why I've lost friends.
well,
Mm-hmm. You have to close the door once in a while.
Right. And if you go here and you have a problem with people, then you go over here and you have a problem with people, and you go over here and you have a problem with people. Maybe it's time to start looking in the mirror.
Yeah. What's the common denominator and all that?
Exactly. The same thing goes with jobs. These people that job hop, and the reason they give is, well, there was, drama over here, and they didn't, I didn't like them, they didn't like me, and then it goes same thing. Like, you need to look in the mirror. Because it's like you said, Carol, you seem to be the common denominator here. But yeah, it's really sad to see all the infighting and stuff. I don't like it. I really don't. And it's like you said, Jane. If these two people don't like each other, but I'm friends with both of them, that's no reason to get mad at me.
Right.
Right.
It's like you just need to get over yourself.
Well, we even saw it at a church that we used to go to. Before we left, other people have left. Well, he told it was someone, me and a few other people, we were on the worship team. Well, one of them was actually told, hey, I saw you eat lunch with so-and-so. I really don't appreciate you hanging out with them. And he looked at him like, we've been best friends since we were teenagers. I'm going to still be friends with him. So so we've dealt with the same thing. That's why we just don't like drama. We back away, and, we are true friends to people, and, that some will come, some will go. Some of them are just there for lessons.
And, and Nighthawk has a great point. And that's what that's what it comes down to, is ego.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing about, now don't get me wrong, and I've said this before, everybody that does a podcast has an ego. Okay? We all do. It's the super egos that you have to watch out for. The ones that talk about how the only conversation they can have is about how good they are.
Yeah.
And how good of a person they are, and how much of a badass they are, or whatever the case may be. I've seen quite a few of those.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, who are you trying to convince?
Yeah.
Right.
Kind of sounds like you don't believe in yourself to me. So.
Yeah, like I said, I saw this in the UFO community about 5 years ago, that these are famous UFO people. They write books, they're in conferences. They were name calling each other. And we're all just going, what? And I'm going, I don't care if you're famous and you've been around for many, many years. I didn't like the name calling. They were tearing down this one person's channel, and the true people stuck with her, and then you sometimes you do have to kind of take sides when you actually see a situation like that. And I bought a couple books of this one lady, and I stopped watching her channel and everything. And oh my gosh, I wish I didn't even buy her books. I mean, that was a few years ago, but hey, lessons learned.
Yeah.
But like you said, the super ego gets in there, and then they're telling their chat, how to act and this and that. And I'm going, no, I've seen this in churches before. Bye.
Yeah. When you start talking about, oh, don't go over to this channel, or don't go over to that channel, and I'm like, how can you, here's a good one for, and folks, I am so sorry. I mean, we are not on the subject of anything.
Somebody must be needing to hear this,
I guess that's the way I have to look at it too. Because we got a comment the other day on one of our shows. Too much banter, not enough on the topic, I'm like, I've got over 4,000 people that disagree with you the way I do things. So, I'm going to go with them.
Train wrecks are fun.
Yeah.
I don't think we really declared a topic, so I think we're all right.
Oh, Lord. But yeah, it's one thing people have to realize is the super ego that we're talking about is also the most fragile ego. You brush up against it and they will lose their ever loving minds. And it gets bruised very, very easy. Very, very easy. It gets bruised easier than a peach. I mean, it's something else.
And then the true colors come out.
But oh yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Like how dare you? That's where that whole superiority complex comes in too. How dare you question me? Type thing. I'm like, what? I can't question somebody.
Just like your show, we're trying to have a diverse field of people come on our show and tell us their experiences and their theories and stuff. We don't know it all and nobody else knows it all, but I might be able to grasp something out of what they're saying and add it to what I think and start to make a bigger picture for myself on what things are.
Right.
I mean, just because my experience wasn't exactly like they're experiencing a UFO or a cryptid or a paranormal thing doesn't mean it didn't happen for that person, or maybe that's the only way they know how to describe it.
Right.
Right.
So if I can take a little glimpse or piece of what they have and make it resonate with me on what my experience was, so yeah, I think maybe that fits a little better on what happened, or
it's another piece of the puzzle.
It doesn't mean they were wrong or I was wrong. You just got to try to put that piece of puzzle together and see, okay, what fits and what doesn't, or maybe that's not what I experienced, but I can kind of see how that would happen.
I see a lot of people in this community, and it's a big community. And I think there's a lot of people in these chats that they don't feel comfortable sharing, but they found this community and they know they're not going to be laughed at. They're not going to be mocked. We're all in the same boat and, we're learning from each other. And then you hear somebody else's story and you go, oh my gosh, I went through that. I'm not the only one. Yep. And it calms them down. And I'll tell you what, Tex, when Crystal J was on your show, I was crying halfway on and off through that show because I know she was scared. But I saw the healing in her face. She kept getting more healed and more healed the more she talked. And a few months after that, I kind of thought, he was talking about a show. And I went, oh, heck no. And Marty asked me to be on the show. And I went, oh, no, I don't want to be on anybody's show. Well, if Crystal J can do it, anyone can. And so now I'm comfortable. I love this. I'm not nervous, and if we can help other people, share their experiences, that's what we want. We're not out for popularity or anything. We want to get people to wake up, share experiences, and get the knowledge out.
And you talk about people getting ridiculed and all that kind of stuff. That's kind of what got me really started into this whole YouTube thing, because I had, I had my dogman experience when I was young, and I really hadn't talked about it. And then I was at work, no kidding. I was at work. I think I was on lunch or had some downtime or something. And I was poking around YouTube and I kept seeing this dogman thing pop up. I'm like, what is this? And I started listening to it. I said, oh my gosh, people saw the same thing I did and they're talking about it, and they're not being laughed at. That's what drew me to getting involved on that first channel, and all I did was contact her and she, told my story and, then she liked my voice and I did voice work for her and boom, 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 Then I went with a BDRP and was there for a couple of years and I wanted to do my own thing, I wanted to have the creative freedom and all that kind of stuff. And here I am. So, but yeah.
I never thought we'd be here doing this.
It's weird how life leads you in certain directions.
Yeah.
It's because if you'd have asked me, 10 years ago, I'd be sitting here talking about Bigfoot with all the stuff hanging on the wall behind me, going out in the woods and looking for these critters and everything. And I said, no, ain't no way, but here I am.
Well, everybody has a journey that they have to go through, whether they experience the paranormal or a cryptid or a UFO or
all of the above.
Or maybe they don't experience anything, but they just like the subject matter. It doesn't matter. Everybody's going along in their journey, and if we can help them out, if you can help them out, everybody on the porch, it doesn't matter who it is. Just give them a little, open your ear up to them and let them talk, let them say whatever they have to. And if you can interject something, helpful or, not to bring anybody down, I mean, try to build them up to get them to open up.
Yeah. And it's healing.
And I guess and I see a lot of places, names I recognize in chat. And I was just fixing to tell a story on the cryptid hunters here. And it also involves Danielle. When we did that show about my missing time, and Jessica remote viewed it, and I did not want to believe, I didn't want to be one of those people, because I had somebody that's very, very influential in the Bigfoot world make a statement at a conference one time. We were all sitting around talking, and all the speakers were sitting around talking, and they made a comment about people that have these experiences with Bigfoot, dogman, ghost, UFOs, all of that. And when I say that, I mean they've had experiences with everything. He said he said it almost hurts their credibility as far as he's concerned. And it made me worried about being one of those people that have had all these different encounters, about how serious are people going to take me? How honest can I be? What's happened to me? Where, what am I going to, what's going to happen to my credibility, even in this community? And then I thought, if I can't be honest about what I've been through and share what I've been through, why am I doing what I'm doing? I've had people outside this community, because I came out of the proverbial Bigfoot closet several years ago. And your credibility does take hits out in the real world, as it were. People look at you differently, and that's unfortunate, but it does happen. But I said, I've got to be honest with myself and everybody else, because this is really what I based what my goal was to do this, was to give everybody a safe platform. Well, if I don't feel safe on my own platform, I need to reevaluate things. Well, and then when Jessica remote viewed my missing time, and she said that I had been me and Dee had been abducted, I didn't want to be there. I didn't want to be that guy yeah, thank you, Jessica. And then she said some things that we were doing a show about it. And I told her, I said, I wanted to reveal the results on air and everything, but she called me and she says, look, we need to have a little talk about this, because you need to prepare yourself for what's happened. And because at that point I didn't know, I had no clue. I had my suspicions. But honestly, I pretty much talked myself into, we just lost track of time. And when she revealed to me that she saw that I had been abducted, I didn't want to believe it. I had a lot of problems getting my head wrapped around it. And then we had another show about it. I think it was the second show we had about it. I was with Rob, and some members of the chat verified info that she had told me, and she didn't know. She couldn't have known. And I got a little emotional. That rattled me. I'm like, oh crap, this happened. And then fast forward months later, I was on Spaced Out Radio, and I was on the After Hours show. Danielle was there. It's the first time I'd ever met her, and I mentioned lost time. That I said I didn't get into. I didn't even get, no more get it out of my mouth. Well, I had a lost time incident. She goes, and she apologized. She goes, I need to stop you right there. And because she's a medium,
Mm-hmm.
and she told me the same thing. I'm like, oh, I don't want to hear this. I don't want to hear this. But I had several conversations with Jessica about it, about how to deal with it and everything. She helped me out quite a bit. And when Danielle came out with that, I'm like, it was like having to relive it all over again. That experience of realization, I guess. And I'm like, man, what do you do with that? I still don't. And today, I still don't know where to put it. I don't know how to deal with it. I don't know how to go forward from it. I don't know if it's something I should try to explore more or what. I really don't. But I don't even know where I was going with that. But
right.
Anyway, yeah.
Well, you got confirmation anyway of, more than one person.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said,
Yeah.
in our minds, our human minds tries to protect us by putting stuff in the back and making us forget, it's still there, but it's just not up front where we can access it all the time. So, that's why they have the regression therapies, to bring it out. Well, now you've basically had that done. So now it's up to you, I guess, to decide what to do with it. And that's what you were just talking about. I guess I would, now that it's out, take it as a positive experience, and see what you can do with it, whether it's to dive further into it or just, tell your story so other people will come out.
Yeah. And that's kind of where I'm at with it right now. And I may go deeper into it because I have talked about Barry about doing a regression, and I can't make that leap yet.
That's what I was going to say. It should be an individual level. If you're ready, you're ready. If you're not ready, it might harm you to find out the truth. So you really actually need to be ready, to dig deeper like that.
Yeah, because because so many abductees, it don't just happen once, And what it got me to thinking was, it got me going back through every memory that I could pull up, and if I've ever had a situation that was kind of like that before that I couldn't explain, missing time, or did I wake up and I was like, what, and all this kind of stuff. And I really can't. Did it happen more than once? I'm told it was. Well, actually, who was that? It may have been Robin McCrae that told me it had happened more than once.
I bet it happens to more people more than they realize.
Yeah, well, yeah. I'm still not convinced on what's behind it.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, we don't either. Even though I'm seeing things in the sky and I'm having experiences, I don't have answers.
Yeah, because I don't know. Okay, jumping back on the Bible train here, just for a second. God said, He created us in His image. That statement, and it's just like a lot of stuff in the Bible. That statement can be taken so many different ways. Depends on how you interpret it as an individual. I think, as far as I'm concerned. And when you use that in the UFO scenario, my question is, okay, He created us in His image. That's cool. But He never says that He created others that weren't in His image.
Well, it talks about creatures around the throne.
Right. So, and I think it's I think it's human arrogance to look at the vast universe and think we're the top dog on the block.
Right.
I mean, if that's the case, that's a lot of wasted space.
Yeah.
I think that's from The Arrival or something, movie. But that's a true statement. I was having a discussion with a friend of mine, and we were having this discussion. And he said, well, even if we are the only ones in this universe, what about all the other universes?
Right.
So that's never mentioned. And
he even took the same thing.
He even took it a step further, and I kind of went, whoa, I don't know about all this. But that's just because my faith in God, and it's just. But he said, what if God is over our God is over our universe, but there's other gods over other universes?
Yeah.
And I never thought about that. And I'm like, man, that's a hard pill to swallow right there. For me, I think for anybody that believes there's one God, that's a hard pill to swallow.
Right.
Well, I kind of thought that because there's 24 elders also. We don't know what these 24 elders actually are. Sure, it might be Moses and some of the apostles, but how do we not know that they're actually leaders of a planet or a university or galaxy or something like that?
Right.
And it does say creatures around the throne. Well, no churches actually explain what the creatures are.
Yeah, they don't want to.
Right. Exactly.
That's one of the main problems I have with, I'll call it, the church as a whole. You go in and they want you to believe in a supernatural being and all these miracles and supernatural happenings, but that's all. Anything else supernatural? No. That doesn't exist.
No, they're trying to pull you into a religion. I'm in a relationship with God, and I've learned a lot more since I left church 12, 13 years ago. I have a relationship with him. He's my best friend. He's my father. I talk to him all day long.
Yeah. And it's and Maggie, that's a great point.
Yep.
When you're in church, it's almost like you're not supposed to question anything. Well, it's raining. Thank you. We needed that.
Yeah.
But that's not what I remember in the Bible. I remember we're supposed to question everything. You're not supposed to be locked down and, you believe this way and that's it, my way or the highway type thing. You gave us free will for a reason.
Right.
That's what I never got. And I'm going to pick on the snake, on the snake charmers, the ones that dance with the snakes and stuff.
Right.
And then they get bit and they don't want to go to the doctor, or people that don't want to go to the doctor, period. God will heal me. Well, God gave you a brain, and he gave the doctors a brain enough to have the knowledge to heal you. Use the tools he gave you. Don't cut yourself off at the knees. He made this for a reason. Not just for you to rely on him all the time. That's just my thoughts on it. But and I think the whole dancing with the snakes, you're tempting fate.
Yeah.
He made you smart enough not to do that. Okay.
So do you have any of those snake pastor churches in Texas, or is it more out east in the Carolinas in that area?
Oh no, there's a few of them.
They're through the whole South.
Oh my.
I mean, they might even be in the North. Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah, I think it just they're probably all over. I mean, they're not real prevalent, but they are out there.
Wow.
But
now going back to your visiting the doctor, I mean, like you said, who's to say that God didn't appoint that doctor to heal you?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just like the old saying, you have a big gigantic flood and you're on the top of the roof of your house, and and you say, God, help me, please save me, or whatever. And a boat comes up, and it goes, oh no. So, I won't get in the boat. God will save me.
Yeah.
And then, another boat comes in. Hurry up, jump in. It's your last chance. No, God will save me. And then, then eventually you ask God, and you actually hear from him, and he says, well, I sent 2 people to rescue you, and you did not take it.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. Exactly. I don't understand. People, when they ask God for something and they get an answer and it's not the way they think it should have been answered,
mm-hmm.
they ignore it. And there lies the problem. It's like you said, better climb in that boat.
Or they go after them when they're in need, but they're not there on the other time saying, thank you for this and thank you for that. But they get in trouble, and then that's when they go, oh, God, you need to come in and help.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes it was your own stupidity.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I mean, and I think a lot of people need to remember, and you probably said the same thing. You need to just give him a nod of thanks for the little stuff.
Yep.
And don't come crying to him when your life falls apart. Thank him for the things that you do get.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was always taught as a kid and growing up, that God, your creator, whoever, whether it's Jesus or whoever you're associating with, he's not a genie in a magic bottle. You can't rub it 3 times and get everything that you want. I mean, it's all in God's timing. I mean, it says that right in the Bible also. I mean, it's in his time.
And he knows our intentions also.
And you might have to go through a trial to get where he wants you to be more receptive. I mean, it's not all about asking God constantly, give me this, give me this, give me this, or what should I do, Lord? What should I do? I mean, you actually got to settle down and find your inner peace, and actually listen. Because a lot of times he's telling you what to do, but you're just not listening.
Little testimony here. When I was in the military, I was married to my first wife, and some things were going on at home, and of course I was not there. Praying daily to help, to fix things, make everything okay. And when it didn't pan out, I got angry. You know, for a period of time, I was mad at him. And then I met my wife now, and I had 2 more kids, and I'm in a very good place. And it took me a little bit to realize he answered my prayers, just not the way I thought it should have been answered. And that's where I came to realize that it goes like what we were talking about. You know, you may not, you get the answer, but it's not exactly the way that he has planned. You know, so yeah.
It even goes with friends. Sometimes, you know, they change, or, you know, you change and you go, you know, you're not friends anymore. Well, you know, things happen for reasons, or lessons learned, or it just happens. You just have to accept things and move on, or God knows what's best, and he knows what they were talking about behind your back. So maybe it was the best thing that things kind of got weeded out. So we've gone through the exact same thing. We get down to a couple friends like, oh, geez, you know, is it us? Are we that weird? I know we're weird, but well, then, you know, the last couple of years we're in this YouTube community and we're finding new friends. We're starting all over again. And, you know, got to open up your heart and trust. And you just can't have a bitter heart the rest of your life saying, I'm not going to trust anymore else. Well, sometimes you have to open up your heart and try it again.
Yeah, and you know, I've I've been told on numerous occasions that I'm too nice, that I'm too trusting. And has it bit me in the butt? Oh yeah. But the times it's bitten me and the times it hadn't are not even numbers. You know, so I'm going to keep going the way I go. You know, it's just you might
gotta be real.
If I meet somebody and you know I'm one of these people that I'm going to trust you until you give me a reason not to.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm probably more like that too, to a fault. Every once in a while, I
see,
gotta
that's
be
me.
reminded.
And I'm the one, I've gone through so much. They wronged me a couple of times. That's when I go, okay, I'm done.
Yep.
I've been through this before.
Tracy Hull, I just noticed in chat, prayers out for you, you know, your son and all of y'all. They had to take him to the ER. I hate that. So, you know, and Penny says, my heart is too fractured and numb. I'm done with people. I understand that. I really, really do understand that. But and it's hard when you get really, really burnt on numerous occasions. It's hard. You know, but and I've said this a few times. I haven't lost faith in humanity yet. I can't say that I've wanted to, that I haven't wanted to, but it's a tough one out there. You know?
Yeah, life is very tough, and you know, I've been there also, just kind of feeling lonely. You know, it was even last summer that I've got a couple close friends, but they're Christian friends. I don't talk about the UFOs, Sasquatch, things like that. So, you know, so I told Girl, I said, man, I just kind of wish I had more people that I can talk to. Well, like last September is when I started watching more shows and chats, and it just kind of blew up and getting to know more people. And now I do have a bunch of friends. You know, so, you know, but they're online, but we're in the same mindset. You know, yeah, we all might still believe differently, but so what? We all have our own choices of what we want to believe. Doesn't mean that person's right or that person's wrong. Nobody's right or wrong. It's just their choice of what they want to believe in. So,
Well,
we're all
Tracy, I don't
different.
know what's going on, but lots of prayers, lots of prayers.
Oh, yeah, we'll be praying for
And
you guys.
you talk about having friends and people being right and wrong and all that kind of stuff. Don't think that you can only learn from your friends either,
Right.
because you can learn from anybody. It might not be a lesson that you want to learn,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
but you can learn from everybody. Unfortunately, some of the lessons are a little bit painful.
Yeah. And you're a little bit deeper down that hole that you didn't think that, you'd get down that far, and then more happens, and well, things are happening for reasons.
Yep.
Well,
that's for sure.
Just like when you lose somebody in your family, through whatever, if they die or pass away. I mean, there's a grieving process.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing, I believe, with friends also. I mean, it's a grieving process that you have to go through. Some people can just spring right out of it and keep on trucking through their life. And other people, it really bothers them, and sets them back. And you got to take that time to adjust yourself and make sure the time's right before you open yourself up.
Mm-hmm. You got to learn from your own discernment also, not to let it happen in the future. You start seeing similar personalities in someone. Yep. You realize, like, I've been there before, and that's your warning sign that if you continue to try to be friends with that person, you're going to get burnt.
Well, and that's weird, because that's the red flags.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a lot of what we talk about on, me and Danielle talk about on Infamous Minds.
Yeah.
And that's really why we're doing that show. It's not about all the horrible acts these people did. It's, you run across these people that have these same traits every day.
Mm-hmm.
And we're trying to educate people that, not that we know everything by any means, but if people can listen and, maybe he is, maybe there are these, if you can pick up these red flags on these personality disorders and everything that we talk about, maybe it will, like you said, you recognize them the second or third time down the road, and you save yourself from heartache,
Mm-hmm.
and or when to, something's going on here. At least if nothing else, you put your guard up, But that's where I'm like Gerald, I tend to ignore the red flags. They could be waving right in my face, and I'm like, oh, no, it'll be all right. It'll be different, blah, 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 but that's on me. I mean, that's on me, but, yeah.
Well, you kind of like going back to the Bible, you will know them by their fruits. Do you see someone smiling, but you can tell a fake smile of a genuine smile. I mean, you can see the love in their eyes. Or are they looking snarly and clenching the fist and looking, at the camera and talking mean and stern? Well, but they talk about the Bible and Christianity, and you kind of go, huh, really? I'm not seeing it with your fruits or on your face. You just got to use your discernment, use your gifts, and just be very careful. Some people don't even have souls these days. I don't even know if they're human.
Oh man, I tell you. Penny says, Gerald, it really, and I don't mean to take over your show here, but this really spoke to me. It says, Gerald, it really is a death when you lose a friendship. I never got time to grieve anyone. Everyone in my life had died, and I have no family or friends, even my life mate, 23 years left. Mm. Well, number one, I am very sorry that you have to go through that. Number two, Penny, you do have friends whether you want to or not. So there you go.
Yep. You got a lot of friends in this community.
Because I see you around a lot and you support us. So whether you want to admit it or not, you got a friend. So, yeah.
Yeah. I didn't really know we were going to go this direction tonight, and and I actually like it.
There's a reason,
and I don't know if it's for us, for you, Tex, or the people out there, but obviously some people need to hear this for whoever it is. I don't know who this is reaching out to. I know it's touched us, and I'm sure it's touching you.
I think a lot of people have lost family, friends, especially his last few years with all the division. A lot of people have gone through a lot of hurts. You thought those were your really friends. Well, and then you're crying and crying like, oh my gosh, I thought they were your friends. Well, then if you realize, well, the way they're acting, do you really want them as your friend anyway? No, it's the best thing. And then you finally get healed. Like, okay, it's a good thing that we're not friends anymore. But I think everyone's gone through its hurt, of losing a friend that you really thought was your best friend, or they stabbed you in the back and talked about you behind your back. Life is just not easy. It's just, how are you going to handle it? Are you going to be bitter and be a victim, or are you going to be a survivor and move on and continue to love anyone who's around you? Just try not to kick the dog, going out the backyard, don't take it out on the dog.
Yeah. And, and sometimes you're the person kicking the dog. Sometimes you're the dog. So,
That's right. That's right.
Well, I will add to this that, I said, it's a grieving process, whether it's through a loved one passing away or a friendship, being terminated, or, and like you read, it is a death.
Yeah.
And you do have a grieving process, but only you know how long that's going to take. But it all, and also I do not think God or anybody wants you to dwell in that forever.
Right.
Take your time, go through it, work out your process, work out your feelings, seek out inside your heart what's best for you and how you need to move forward. But just don't live in that misery, please. Reach out. You have friends out here. You have people to talk to. Use those resources to get through this if you need help.
Well, and there's a reason. It's like, y'all and everybody everybody in my circle, I'm going to put it that way, because I won't call it a group. Our little island of misfits toys, and I consider y'all right there on the island with us. I'm not saying that we're on an island. Don't read into that.
No, but I think we're all misfits.
We are all misfits. That's my point.
I want to be the pink polka dotted elephant.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to be a Jane in the box.
Well, I think we can all agree that I'm Bumble. So, there we go. And don't forget Bumble's bounce.
Yeah.
But I think when I talk about the circle and our island of misfit toys or whatever, it includes everybody that's part of the shows and the chat and all that kind of stuff. We may not be. It's like, let's take Penny for example. I'm not picking on you, darling, I swear. But you need to realize we may not be next door neighbors. We may not be on the phone every day, but we do care. Okay. And to me, that's the beginning of a friendship. And you and all of us, and our contact information out there is out there for a reason. Don't just think we want, we'll reach out because I've got a Bigfoot story or I've got a Dogman story or whatever. No. And we've said this numerous times. If you just need to bend an ear, reach out to us. So I'm a pretty good listener. I tend to talk a lot. Yes, I know, but I'm a pretty good listener too. And we're not going to turn you away. So,
and I bet you can give a good bear hug when somebody's crying.
I have been accused of that. Yes. That is not an accusation I will run from. That's for sure.
Well, you're genuine and people know it. So,
well, thank you. That means a lot. It really does.
Yeah, we've supported you a long time. I mean, you can just tell by your eyes and your heart and how you treat people, and you need to stick with the genuine ones.
Well, and I feel the same way about y'all, because that's when Yarrow started texting me and everything, and I was like, it was kind of like we'd known each other for a very, very long time. It was just that feeling, that connection.
No, it wasn't the beard. It wasn't the beard connection.
Okay, maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit. Bearded brethren, but yeah, that's what I love about y'all. Y'all are very genuine,
Well, thank you.
And you both got. Oh, I love you too, Jessica. You both got heart.
Love Jessica.
You really do. And Susie be talking about my squinty eyes hiding below my hat. Yeah. It doesn't help when I take off my glasses either. Like I squint even worse.
Yeah, we almost wore cowboy hats tonight. We probably should have.
Maybe when we come on your show tomorrow night, we'll get the cowboy hats out.
There you go. Maybe we'll get Brandy to wear hers. But
yeah, we need to remind everyone, if they weren't here at the beginning, we will be on Tex Show tomorrow night. We got back-to-back shows.
Yep.
I'm not sure how that worked out.
I can't promise that we won't go down the same rabbit hole.
Well, we'll send you some pictures and videos just in case we need a backup plan.
Backup plan, yeah.
It's I love shows like this. It's and that's, and everybody knows. I think, well, most people know, and you may not. I don't know. When I've got all the guests that I have come on the show, and I drive my co-host absolutely nuts.
Poor Brandy.
Oh, I know. I feel for her. I really do. Her and Danielle and Jason when he was co-hosted, because I don't research anything. And so if it's somebody that I've never met before, maybe 15 minutes before the show is the first time I've ever met them. So what you see on the show is us getting to know each other.
Right.
And I think it's a lot of, I think that helps the conversation with me, because I love meeting people. And it's that first time interaction is so hard to get, because I think one thing it does, it keeps you from doing the strict interview style. You got a list of questions and everything. We reached out to somebody, and get this, I don't even remember who it was. We reached out to somebody to have them on the show, and they were going to send us a list of questions we were asked. And I'm like, that's not how we roll. I've never talked to this person. Really needed to be reminded who they were as far as the relevance of the topic and everything else. but they ended up not coming on the show because we wouldn't, stick to their program. I'm like, well, we have a conversation. If I have you on, I've never met you before. That's me meeting you. And then I think that a lot of the questions that people want to ask get asked that way. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Because, it's, I don't know. I think it's just the way I've always done things, shoot from the hip.
I see Brandy mentioned she don't even know who's on the show until she gets there. Well, hey, Brandy, it's us tomorrow.
Yeah, just a heads up.
Just a heads up, Brandy.
You know what? I have taken the hit for this quite a bit, not informing her, but I'm going to call her out. You've got access to the same calendar I do. Oh man.
Oh, that's so good.
Oh Lord. Nighthawk says, wait, you had no idea who I was prior to the show.
Yeah.
Well, so far, I think all of our guests we actually have known, we've talked to, we personally know, they're our friends. I don't know how it would be kind of hard to interview someone that you really don't know.
Yeah. It's well, you would think. I mean, but I don't know. That's just
I don't know. When we first started our shows, we didn't know a lot of the people. We just heard them on other shows. Like, oh man, that's a good subject. I like this person, and we just invite them on. And Jane would be the same way, kind of like Brandy is like, well, who's this? I said, I don't know. I saw him on this show, or I saw her on this show talking, and I liked her, and they had a good subject. And
well, it happened a couple of times. I went, who's this? Do we have on our show? And then he kind of tells me, and I go, oh, okay. Now I kind of remember them, being a guest on somebody's show. But so one of these days he's going to end up getting in trouble. And I'm going, I don't know this person.
Oh, don't worry about it. I got a good feeling about this.
Yeah. Oh no, I don't.
Well, see, but that to me, that's the fun part, because
an adventure.
Last like a box of chocolates, you never know what you're going to get.
So yeah,
Dukester.
Yeah, hi, Duke.
Oh yeah, and I saw that message a while ago. Yeah, go ahead.
BMR is going to be on the show.
Yeah, he's got BMR.
He's got BMR coming on. Yeah.
Awesome.
No,
I'm actually when we get done here, I'm recording. I'm recording with Donnie Cho for his show. So when we get done here, so
you're going to be on Donnie's show.
I'm going to be on Donnie's show.
Oh, that's going to be a good one. Are you going to talk about pineapple pizza?
No, they've had that debate.
Yeah, we watched it.
You know what's funny? What's funny? When I actually listened to that show, and I'll be dead gum if I wasn't craving pineapple pizza after it was done.
That was a great show. That was just hilarious.
It is so funny how shows about nothing. I mean, just random subjects, can be so entertaining, and that's, I know a lot of us that have these paranormal shows, Bigfoot shows and everything. If we talk about anything different, we get, well, it's supposed to be a Bigfoot show. Mm-hmm. It is most of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we tend to go down some rabbit holes.
Well,
I think the next big debate, and I left a comment saying this on Donnie's show. I'm sorry, girl. I left a comment and on that show says I think the next debate ought to be taco pizza.
Yeah. Yeah.
We get that quite a bit too.
Yep. Taco pizza is great.
I know, right?
Yeah. Oh my. Yeah, that's so neat that there's so many new shows. I mean, Danielle's doing amazing with her Dimension show, and then you guys a show on Saturday. Jason's on his own. Donnie has a show. This community, I just love how everybody's supporting, and everyone's in everyone's chat 5 times a day. You see him over and over again, like, hi, Susie B. Hi, this person. No, you hi again.
Here we go.
Yeah, here we go again.
Donnie doesn't even know what taco pizza is.
Oh, Donnie. He needs a taco pizza. He needs to try taco
You know what?
pizza.
He is going to try to come down to Texas for the Dogman Conference.
Cool. Give him a taco pizza.
I'm going to take him to, you know what? I'll take him to somebody that does it right, and that's Pizza Inn. And you don't see many of those anymore.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah,
maybe I'll take him to Pizza Inn and get him on some taco pizza.
We got a couple of pizza inns still around here, but not too many.
Yeah.
Right. They are my favorite. They are my favorite. I love their thin crust, man. See, here we go. We ended up talking about freaking pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now everybody's gonna go order pizza when we get off the show.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh boy. Oh, so everybody got Rob in here. Hi, Rob.
Yeah, Rob showed up. We
Everybody's
got the whole platform in here almost tonight, one a little bit at a time.
Donnie likes foo pizza. Is there a
faux pizza?
Is there a Korean pizza that's just?
There probably is somewhere.
A Korean pizza.
I think that's faux.
Faux? Foo. Faux. Faux. Foo. Faux. How do you pronounce it?
Faux is. I thought faux. I don't even know what faux is. We have faux restaurants around here. I don't even know what faux is.
Oh, did I say it right? Faux?
Yep.
Faux. Oh my. Yeah, we went the Bible to pizzas.
And I know me and you have talked to this, and I don't know who else you brought it up to, but you talked about doing a panel show sometime.
Oh,
I think maybe this is kind of the format we need to do, just an open kind of format. You can still have UFO subjects or paranormal or cryptid, and talk about that. But I think shows like this is a good panel to have more than a couple people. So we need to get that set up sometime.
Just talk about anything.
Yeah, I think we could we could push it on my channel and see if we can get Duke on board and push it on all of our channels and have it over here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we're down for that. We'd like to do that very much.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
We could probably if we pulled all of our social media resources together, we could get probably a really big audience going. Because I got to tell you, me and Duke, and we don't, and you see me and Duke going back and forth all the time. I'll be on the show and he'll be in the chat, and because we don't have the same outlook on a lot of things, but. And I've said this before, what I love about Duke is I can sit down and, like we were saying earlier, have a conversation, and I got to tell you, folks, once I have these experiences everybody else is talking about, I'll be the first one waving my flag. But so we should put together a pizza cookbook.
Oh, that's funny.
Did you see Brandy's? A panel on pizza arguments.
Yeah. Oh Lord.
Oh, pizza panel.
Everybody should.
That's funny.
Because, I mean,
I think
there's the
whole end it here, and we'll have to do a part 2 tomorrow night, or maybe we'll just get on a whole different subject tomorrow night. Who knows what we'll do now? I'm not really sure.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
We still send you some pictures and videos.
Oh, please do. Please
for little backups.
Yeah. Just shoot them over to the Paracryptid email.
All right. Yep.
The channel's email. So I'll have them right there. But oh well, thank you.
Yep. So everybody make sure to go over to Texas Front Porch, and obviously, there's everybody else that's involved on the Front Porch. You know, you have Blondes and Booze and BMR, who's going to be on World Bigfoot tonight. And
Yeah,
you got
here in a little
Jason
bit.
Questions Everything. You got Bob Van Buren show, and
We just got so many out there.
You know, you got Danielle Diva and Diva's Dimension, and I mean, there's just such a great shows over there, and this whole vast subjects that you can come across on everybody's platform is different, and sometimes they touch on the same subjects.
Sometimes we do. It's funny how some of the shows will bleed over into the other ones.
Yeah.
Then Donnie Cho's show, you know, he kind of sprouted off of you guys' platform also.
Yeah, yeah, he did. I really appreciate everything, and thank you so much. I'm glad we finally got to do this. Oh my God. It's been a lot, but I don't think people don't realize it's been a long time in the making.
No, we had you scheduled. You had to work that weekend or something, so we had to change it.
You know, way before that, you know, like Tex said, you know, I got a hold of his number, and he was gracious enough to take my phone call, and you know, and I talked about coming onto his platform, and then I had to call him back and say, hey, you know, William asked me to be on his platform, you know, and I don't want any hard feelings. So I made sure Tex knew where I was headed, because I felt William needed help, you know, with his medical issues, that he couldn't always be on his shows. And that's what we're seeing here the last couple of weeks. You know, William has stuff happening, whether it's his health or, you know, his family's health. And, you know, me and Dennis is there to help, you know, kind of shore him up on his shows. And, you know, and I told Tex, you know, I said, I just don't feel like I can just leave, you know, whether as much as I wanted to come to Texas platform from the very beginning, and we talked about it, you know, the timing just wasn't there.
But now look what happened with your demonetizing, and, you know, we ended up, you know, not streaming with William anymore, just so we don't get him in trouble and us in trouble. And like I said, it was a positive thing that happened to you. It was a good thing. It taught us a lesson also, like, we better go on our own also. So just like, it was a positive thing.
Just like you guys, you know, you guys are all still on each other's shows. It's not like you guys had hard feelings and disbanded like the Beatles or something.
Yeah, you're still together. Yeah.
And it's just like us and William and Dennis, you know, we're still really good friends and care for each other, and we're going to be there if we can, and they'll be there for us if they can. And life goes on.
That's what it's all about. We're all in this together. You know?
That's right.
So we'll have to get that panel thing going, and maybe we can make it a monthly or quarterly thing or whatever.
That's cool.
However it turns out.
You go. That'd be cool. That'd be awesome. But yeah, I can't wait. I'm looking forward. Now I hate to end this conversation, but I'm looking forward to the tomorrow show because
Yep, I know. Who knows what tomorrow will bring?
Yeah, right. But thank you so much for having me on, guys. I thoroughly enjoyed myself. Thanks for being
here.
Yep, thank you.
Everyone in chat, make sure you go over and watch Bigfoot Michigan Rob over on Duke's show. And don't forget our show tomorrow night on Tex Front Porch, because we will be his guests. And who knows what we're going to talk about. And
Dennis is on
Grizzly
Chris's show on Demiology tonight. So he's coming on here pretty soon. We just got people, we just got tentacles out everywhere, I guess.
There you go.
Yep.
Circle getting bigger. I love it.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, everyone in chat, we love you very much. Thank you so much for joining us. And we will catch everyone next time. Bye, everyone.